It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
We have with us today Mario Economou, and we're going to find out what the heck is really going on in Israel and with Hezbollah and what's going on in, well, maybe you'll talk about the Ukraine too. Mario, give us an update.
Yes, hello there, everybody. So this is what happened. In the last 36 hours, Hezbollah had a drone which went up, and they actually were able to overfly Israeli airspace and take pictures and stream them to a live feed of the port in Haifa where the Israeli warships are, as well as the refineries where Israel keeps a lot of its gasoline for its internal consumption. As well as other military installations. The Israelis responded by essentially killing a person who's responsible for Hezbollah's drone capabilities, and today there was a barrage of rockets which Hezbollah fired into Israel. Israel then responded and said that Hezbollah now is literally at the precipice and they've pretty much crossed the line, and that if it decides to take an action against them, it will be a terminal action, one which will end Hezbollah forever and destroy much of Lebanon. To which, of course, Sheikh Nasrallah, who's the head of the spiritual leader of Hezbollah, said that if Israel attempts to do that, Hezbollah will level Israel, and if Israel decides to put its Air Force planes in Cyprus in order to be able to launch them from there so that Hezbollah doesn't hit them in Israel, it will also consider that an act of war by Cyprus, and it will attack Cyprus. Now, why is this a problem? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we've seen the statements that have come out of Turkey. That's Turkey. It's its new name. We've seen the statements come out of President Erdogan with respect to Israel, and specifically Prime Minister Netanyahu. Erdogan feels he has a claim to the northern part of Cyprus, which, of course, he does not. And if this were to happen and Israel were to fly planes from there, more likely than not, Turkey would get involved. And because Greece has signed an agreement, basically a mutual defense pact with Israel, it would pull Greece in as well.
Wow. You know, Mario, I'm hearing all these things. This is really scary. I mean, how much do you think this is rhetoric, or how much do you think, sadly, some of the threats, especially as you were talking about the early part with Hezbollah and Hamas, that's very heightened rhetoric. Is it reality, too, that they're much closer, or is it just verbiage at this point? Okay,
so here's the thing. There's been a lot of hot talk on all sides. And we saw the last time there was, when Israel made a move on the Iranian consulate, Iran did respond. Iran did succeed in infiltrating Israel's Iron Dome. We know 9 ballistic missiles hit Israel, 5 at the Nevatim air base, which is probably one of the most heavily guarded airspaces in the world, and they also hit 4 other ones hit near the nuclear facility that Israel has. So Iran basically told us they know where those facilities are, and we now know that they can actually hit them. The problem is when rhetoric gets this hot and decisions start being taken which are emotional, things can escalate very quickly. And when things escalate very quickly, different sides that have signed different agreements start to get pulled in. That's essentially how World War I started, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. If you want my opinion, there needs to be leadership in the region. That leadership needs to come from the U.S., and right now that leadership, unfortunately, is lacking.
It's not coming from the U.S. at all.
Yeah, not at all. Really scary stuff.
What's going on? Have you heard anything on the Suez Canal or the Red Sea? I heard that they sunk a Greek boat.
Yes, they sunk one of the Greek tankers. The Greek ship, which was in charge of the 4 European vessels that were there protecting the strait down there, had the principal ship went back to Greece, and a new one has been sent out today. We know that the USS Eisenhower carrier group was there. According to the Houthis, they hit it, but the reality is I suspect they did not hit it, and I believe the captain of the U.S. aircraft carrier when he says, no, we were not hit, although it has sailed now up, and apparently it's in the port of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia.
Is there any commerce going through the Suez Canal or Red Sea at all, or everything is a standstill?
Very limited. But you see, this is why this was destined to fail. Because if you're a ship owner, okay, you're not going to lose money by sending your ship around the bottom of Africa and up into Europe. Your charter rate's going to go up. You're actually going to make more money. You're not going to make less money. No. So the only person that's going to suffer is the consumer.
But they don't have insurance. I'm sure the insurance company had told them if you go to the Red Sea, you don't have any insurance.
That's correct. So they'll sail around. So, you know, the problem is the situation.
And where does the cost go eventually?
To consumers.
Consumer, correct. It's an additional burden and an additional tax on us all, and that's why in Europe right now we have tremendous problems with just about everything across the board, price-wise.
Yep. Mario, thank you for the update, and we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Let me just give you, if I may, just one last thing.
Yeah,
there is an election in Iran, and this is very important. It's on June the 28th. There are 6 people who are essentially running, 5 conservatives, and there is one person who's a reformist, and a lot of people are hoping that he will actually succeed and pull it off and become the next president of Iran. I think that that's positive. And I would like to leave everybody with one thought that most of you are going to ooh and ah about. The reality is, if President Trump were to win again, I think he should go and visit Iran in much the same way that he did North Korea. And I think that if he were to do that and he were to reach an agreement with them in much the same way he did with North Korea, we would have a much more peaceful and calm world.
Wow, that's a really bold thing. Wow.
Thank you, and we'll catch up again soon.
This is Greg Kelly for Priority Gold. What does it mean to be America's precious metals dealer? It means that you're in touch with the hearts and minds of those who love this country, value our freedom, and want to protect the future. Priority Gold is that precious metals dealer. They've helped thousands of Americans back their retirement with solid gold and silver. Call Priority Gold at 888-506-6439. Receive free shipping, free storage, a free investment guide, and one of the best purchase experiences in the industry. Call now or go to PriorityGold.com.